Let's go.
Sorry,
Michelle?
no music today.
All good.
Sing.
Sing, exactly.
Sing for us. You're not going to get me to sing. That's in my next life.
No singing. No singing today. No. Although you
No,
what about
I
that
am really happy.
Walter Matilda.
I'm really happy I've got the selection. I have a huge selection. I can share all my beverages with anybody. I got a variety. I'm like, how did you know? I mean, I like the chili margarita though over there.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to switch with you. So, because now
I
have
see
it.
that. I was going to say I was sitting over there, and yeah, now I see why, because I have a regular margarita. Can I change?
The power. I have the power.
I like the
I was
chili.
given a big straw. I've got a nice big straw to drink mine.
Oh, look at there.
Welcome everybody to the mayhem. We're fighting over drinks. We need to sort this out, Vicky. We're gonna have to get a little waitress.
It's happy hour.
I've got my wine. I'm not complaining. Although that does look like a great little chili margarita in front of Vix. Anyway, it's a beautiful day here in Cape Town, South Africa. It's between the cold fronts. I don't know how it is over in Australia, Sydney, Brisbane, and the rest of the world. We've got some great people around joining us here today. I see good turnout. Hello, everybody. We've got some Canadians, we've got South Africans, we've got Australians. Where else are people in the world? American. This is great. Great to see some familiar faces. And yeah, we don't have the avatar makeup on today. Trying to look my best. Wendy's fine. Wendy's always fine.
No, I like my cowboy avatar. He went away for a moment. I don't know. And I can't get my avatar. So you're stuck.
Well, welcome to it, episode number 11 of the HODLNOTS Happy Hour Hangout, and things are still cooking over on this side. Can you guys just see the background? I mean, everything here is
a fire. Everything. A little fireman up there. A little fire. Or little Barney is up there on fire. He's cute with the fire hat on.
Absolutely. Oh, it's all happening all over here. Welcome to it. And in this episode, we're going to be chatting a couple of things actually, where we've got the HodlFire indicator that we spoke about in the previous episode, and things have been hotting up. Actually, Winnie, in your teaching yesterday over in the lodge, you pointed out multi and setting the alerts, and then it ran, and it's been running for the last 9-10 hours.
Still running. It's still running. Yeah, we'll show it.
Yeah, we're going to get into that and just the power of that. We've spoken about the coupon and some good news around that. We're still going to be touching on coupon and how you can get your hands on that. Vicky's going to give us more details in a little bit. I hope, actually, let's hear from all of you down in the Q&A down below. We see you. We'd love to hear, have you guys given the HodlFire a go? Just drop in there. It's not a question, obviously, but you can drop it down in the chat and just let us know. Have you used it? Have you used it to scalp? Have you used it in long-term trading? Or in higher time frames at least? We'd love to hear from all of you. We are going to be touching on that and perhaps even looking for a snuggle, but maybe based on the HodlFire with those pivot loads and how it all works when it will be showing us. So that's exciting. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's have a quick look and a quick recap. I want to have a quick look and see what's been happening over in the den and the lodge well, at least the den over the last 2 weeks. Marcel is not here at the moment, unfortunately. Marcel will be back in the following. I know. I miss his friendly avatar.
Listen to Marcel.
But we're going to have a look at what's been happening in the den from at least at the end of the 3rd of September, and let's have a quick look over there around that. And yeah, it's been great to see. We've had Mateus, who was on the previous episode 9, who was chatting all things MEXC. I don't know if Vix, Michelle, even if you're still scalping, and Wendy, if you guys have been having a look at MEXC, and what are your thoughts on MEXC in terms of those runners and those percentages over there?
Well, for me, the MEXC is a great exchange that is launching lots of new coins on it. We can't get the Heikin-Ashi candles on there, but we can use that's where we use our HODLNator. And we use TradingView because we can get the Heikin-Ashi on TradingView. So as long as you can watch the high nasty candle scalping, it's a lot better. But they have some really great runs on some of those coins. I mean, yesterday found the coin, it ran 83%. So it's like you can get some good coins on there. It's just learning how to operate that platform. It's a little bit different, but I find it to be a good platform. Tell you the truth.
Yeah. No, I'm quite excited. Every day I'll open up and I'm going to the exchange and I'm like, what coins have been running? Oh, there's another 175% and 243% just in those last 24 hours and new coins being added. It is amazing. And just looking at the reflection of that, this was for the previous week over in the Denver. Just again, a very small slice as to what really happens over there. We had 9.35% of MDIMX. We had 15.75 and 11.11% on TED, good old TED. Don't know.
TED is there, yeah.
Yeah, you know, you don't care. Happy Cat ran a whole bunch of people grabbing 8.4% off there. Fog, yeah, nothing unclear about that one. But just 7.3 on there. And then, of course, I mean, there's still coins running on Binance. I grabbed some OAX, I grabbed some multi, grabbed all running on Binance. People are like, oh, Binance isn't exciting or as exciting. There's some great stuff happening on Binance.
On there, yeah. Spell ran today. Hi-Fi, there's another good one.
Yes.
With the Mexi platform, though, I would say that if you are new to Mexi, and you do need to watch the liquidity levels on Mexi. While they do have these great percentage runs and you can make over 100% in a short period of time, watch the liquidity so you don't get caught out. And we teach that in the HODLNOTS course. Absolutely. So we teach you how to find all those things, how to read those time frames and retracements, and the differences in the 3 different platforms that we're using. Each one of them trades differently. So Mexi's been a good one so far. Yeah.
It's interesting is, you know, like for a lot of people who are either doing signals, you know, within bitcointurf.com, or looking to scalp in between, they're like, oh, nothing is running. We've got 3 exchanges that we're using, depending on where in the world you are, where you have access to. Luckily, most of us in South Africa, we have access to all 3. So there's definitely was great potential. But like you're saying, Wendy, that it does depend on liquidity. But I mean, I'm not going to complain 100% on $50, you know, like.
The nice thing was I used the trade and I only used $20 because, you know, we teach low trading in our 3M program. So we use smaller gains. So I wanted to show people that it's really not about the money when we're trading with $20, but you know what, when you can make a couple dollars off a $20 trade in a matter of minutes, you're not, think about it this way, you're not at big risk. No, you're not making big money, but you're making consistent gain. So if I can make $5 in 1 minute on a coin, and I do that a couple times an hour, I'm doing pretty good hourly rate, the way I see it. Without the big risk of spending $1,000 or $2,000 on a coin scalping, most people can do $20. It's pretty interesting to get those kind of percentage gains off of Mexi. I'm excited.
It is, and we know that once there's more surety in the market and crypto in general, we know that the cash and the capital is going to come back in, and we're going to see the liquidity grow in all the exchanges.
I can't hear you. Is it me?
A little bit suspect.
Internet. I was having it early.
Sorry, am I back?
You're garbling.
You're back.
Yeah,
You're back.
You're back.
You just switched. You just switched internets.
I wish I did, but yeah, things are a little slow over on this side here. I was just saying that once the liquidity comes back into the market, once the fear and greed index is well, you know, went from fear and more into greed and people feeling more comfortable, we're going to find a nice growth in liquidity. And we're going to see these coins, even on MEXC that you talk about low liquidity, doing quite nicely, and where you'll be able to put in a couple $100 in terms of those trades. So that's something to look forward to. But in the meantime, we're over and practicing, and we're getting ready, and we're grabbing scalps one after the next, you know, on AMXC, Binance, KuCoin. There are still great coins. I mean, NMR is on Binance. I think it's also on Ku. There are a number of coins. There's quite a bit of overlap actually between coins that are on both KuCoin and MEXC, or Binance and MEXC. And it's great to see. I mean, our members in the den and the lodge are grabbing these within seconds, you know, or in a couple of minutes. That was great to see. And then this is for the most recent one. Thanks again, Marcel, for putting these always together. Bluezell, Bluezell, we've seen it in the MTT and long-term trade, spoken about it. But Bluezell has been great from a scalping perspective. We, again, grabbing a few percentages in minutes, and then you carry on with your day. If you're trading $50, $100, 200, some really great liquidity over there. GTC, OX, again, FLM, and then again, these are the bigger runners we were talking about. Say Wendy, SAK, I think you remember that one, and then Epico, and Dodo, and all of these coins that come and go on MXC, some great ones.
Yeah. We just had, if you like KuCoin, Sol, maybe share screens or whatever, but Sol just ran massively on KuCoin over the last hours. So using the HodlFire, good, So this is something we're going to get into soon.
Yes.
Because a lot of people have the HodlFire. We've been out on social media everywhere passing out these coupons. So if you are here, if you're live on Twitch, hey, how are you? You want to get a free coupon. If you haven't used one yet, we'll get into that and how to get one and give it a go. We've had a massive request for this, and a lot of people, the feedback that we're getting is incredible. But a lot of people, and that's one of the things that you're here for, is to learn how to use what we call the HodlFire strategy. Okay, not just using it for trading, but using the strategy that we've designed. It's pretty darn successful. So we're excited about it.
Well, do you want to quickly share screen? You've spoken about, was it Salt on KuCoin?
You ready for me to do that?
Yeah, for sure. We can do that, and then we'll come back for when you can show us in terms of those higher time frames, and we'll look at those pivot lows. But yeah, show us what you see, and then I'm going to share some trading some tricks.
We'll go to this, and I'm going to go to this, and we're going to get these other indicators out of the way with just a couple that we use. So happy to show you this. I was just looking at multi. This is a coin that we called yesterday. Now, if you look on the 1 hour, boom, boom, here we go. And this is the beauty of these, little pivot tags. So you know when the high's in. And they go along a lot of times with our support and resistance tags that we have built into the HODLnator. So we also are now offering, this is like the first time in 3.5 years, that we are now offering the HODLnator for those people who want it on the second screen, or you already know how to trade, you just want the HODLnator. We do offer it as a standalone product, so you can get it now. But basically, let me go over the HodlFire strategy. Okay, this is what we do. It is designed to work the best on 15-minute or 1 hour time frame. Okay, so the reason we did this is because this goes along similar with the way we teach in HODLNOTS on how to snuggle. Okay, we teach you how to minute scalp in minutes, and that's a whole nother process. That's a whole nother ball game. And a lot of what we teach and how to scalp trade does not apply to this strategy. Okay, because there's places that you buy in here that we would never buy in scalp trading. Okay. So the way it works is this is what you'll get. You won't get the HODLnator, but you'll get the HodlFire. This is what you'll see if you use no other indicators at all. Okay. So this is what you want to be able to do is you want to buy what you want to wait for the pivot low to come in. So when the pivot low and the pivot highs come in here, they're always going to be blue. They're going to be temporary until they're set, and then they turn black. And then once they're black, they're set. They're there for good. Now, when you see a pivot low, this is the great thing. You're going to right click on it, and it has alerts that you will use built into it. Now, what you'll do is you'll come and you'll see this right here. Now, you want to set up for one time when you get it, your notifications. This is really the great thing is you'll be able to see how you want to be notified. If you want to pop up to be on your TradingView screen, if you want to hear a sound, if you want an SMS sent to your phone because you're maybe a truck driver and you're trading during the day while you're doing your job, set that up. But now when you go in here, you have some options here of how to set this up. Okay, if you're more into technical analysis, there's a lot more things that this thing is pretty powerful that can do. But basically, we're going to teach you the HodlFire strategy. And this is what happens is you will go in here, and once you get the bottom pivot alert, okay, on a coin, and it's in, you want to come back and set it for the neon bar on that time frame that you're doing, and you say create. So now what you're doing is you're waiting. Usually when it's followed by a buy tag, it's pretty good and set. Okay, that's really the confirmation that a buy tag came in after the pivot tag. Wait for that neon alert, for that neon candle, and you buy in on this candle right here. And you hold and you hold and you hold until the pivots come in. Okay, this one, you probably wouldn't have gotten out at the very top of the top on that wick, but that's 15 minutes of trading where you could have gotten out when the actual pivot came in. Realistically, a good 65% in 8 hours while you're doing other things during the day on this one coin. This ran. Okay, this is a good coin. Okay, this one ran, this was 2 days ago. So this was on Monday. This coin started running, and then we stay with the coin and we start working it. So the way it works is bottom pivot. You can set the alert for when the bottom pivot comes in. When it comes in, you watch for the confirmation and you buy on the first neon. You set the alert for the first neon. When the first neon is here and you buy, go back to your pivot tag, right click, add the alert, and now you want an alert for the pivot top. When the pivot top comes in, you're alerted, you're out of the coin. You take profit. Now, during this grant, this was about an 8-hour period on a 15-minute chart. So if you're during the day doing whatever, and you just happen to a couple hours later pull over, see that you're in the coin, and you see that you've got a profit. Let's just say that you bought in the coin here, and you wait about 3 or 4 hours, and now you're on break, and you see that you're up 27%. Okay, put your stop loss on. That's all I can tell you. Take most of this profit. You can put your stop loss on, just don't get too close. Get your stop loss and secure 20% of that profit for yourself, and continue to let it ride until the little thing comes in. You look at it again later, and now you're up 30%. Move up your stop loss. And we teach these things in our course, and we teach you how to do it. We teach beginners, we teach people how to trade, but for those people who are traders, this is insanely brilliant. I mean, it's really, really good, and it works most of the time. And nothing is guaranteed 100%. You know that the market conditions, things happen, but we have had our trainers testing this, and it works really good on their long-term holds. They're taking like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and while they're sitting there long-term holding, they're using the same procedure to farm more coins. So basically, now on the 1 hour, it works just as good. On this particular one, when the bottom came in, when the pivot came in, you had a buy tag, you had another buy tag. You're looking for the first neon candle, and that first neon candle came in right here. If we were scalp trading, we would never buy in on that coin, but with our strategy, it works because you're here, you buy in. It didn't work because I blew it up too much. I just wanted to see where that was. So if you buy it here and you go up to the pivot top, there's 129% in 11 hours. Realistically, down here, if you've even got out of the coin a little bit late, you got 100% profit for the day. And on multi, you can put a decent amount of money. So there you go, 100% profit in 1 day of trading on this particular method. This is a great coin. And so we were all using it yesterday. And let me do one that's moving today. What was the one I said? Sol. Now this one's on KuCoin. So on KuCoin, you're going to go to Sol. Look at this thing. This one's good. Now the percentages will be different on different coins. Here's the strategy. The bottom pivot comes in, the buy tag comes in with the candle. So there you go. You've got that going right there. So that's when you buy in, when that alert comes up, and then you ride it to the top. This one was 19%, but you made it in 8 hours during the day while you were doing nothing else, or you were working and you weren't scalp trading this coin. So this strategy works, and it works over and over again. Here, buy, and this one you ride it up to the pivot top. This one had another second pivot bottom come in, but you're going to have to learn how to sit through the dips because it will ride and work out waiting for a pivot top to come in. So that's the only time that you have to worry, is that if you made money here, you bought here, and it just happens to run really quick, But this is where your expertise comes in that you learn from the course on how to read time frames, how to read retracements, how to read all of the things that we're reading on this HODLnator to know whether that is going to last or not, and whether it's time to get out, whether that's a good trade or not. But basically, you didn't get another low here. You got a bluey, and then you went up to town. So if you were able to sit through this and went to this one, you made another 29%. It dropped again. Boom. The first neon candle, you didn't get the bottom of the bottom. You're not going to get the bottom, and you're not going to get the top of the top, but you buy in here, and it's consistently pretty good gains at 72%. And this is what we were doing today, or yesterday and today saw this going off. So knowing how to read all these indicators and knowing whether that's going to bounce and take off again or not, you're waiting for, you put your alert on the HODLnator or on the HodlFire, you put your alert on and you wait for the bottom pivot. When the bottom pivot comes in, then you put your alert on for your neon tag and candle comes in, and then you ride up the next wave. This will tell you that it's getting ready to close, and this might go up here. Okay. So unless we have any questions, those are two that I'm looking at. Hi-Fi is another one that's been running today. That one's on Binance. For those, this has been a very nice one. Strategy again, when this came in today, you'd have bought here. We would have never bought in this area right here. If you know anything about Bollinger Bands, you know the top band is right there. I would have never bought in that coin there. But using the strategy, I could have bought on that first candle and rode it to the top and made 27% in a little over about a day and a half. So again, the 1 hour is going to be slower. Okay, it's going to be longer than the 15 minutes. So if you go 15 minutes, you got a lot more opportunities as you go here, buying here. This run right here on a 15-minute went all the way up 24%. So do you see you got more than waiting for the hour chart? You could have grabbed a good 16%. For every $1,000 you could have put on that coin, that's $160 in an hour. On a 15-minute chart. This is why this is a great way in a market like everybody's talking about. There's nothing moving, nobody's doing anything. I don't even want to trade because there's nothing going. We're finding coins every day that run. This is why our community, our global community, is as big as it is. Okay. And we've trained about 3,000 people now over the last couple of years on how to do this method. But using this, here's the bottom pivot. Here's the first candle, you ride it up to another 12% in 3 hours. So this particular day, you made another $120 for every 1,000 you put on that. And again, this is where you need to watch the liquidity on these coins. Hopefully I shared that in a way that everybody could understand, especially if you're not used to trading. But if you want to learn how to do this, if you want life change, this is something that we're very passionate about. You need supplemental income today because food prices are going up. You don't know how you're going to make it, how you're going to pay those high energy costs, the bills that are coming in. I mean, all these things running around us that are so darn depressing. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Absolutely. And it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's a real way to make money, but it does take work, and you're going to have to learn, and you're going to have to step out of your uncomfortable zone and try and learn something new. So we have global people, all ages, trading with us, and it's just fun to see them all advancing, and the HodlFire makes it so much better.
Absolutely. And the light at the end of the tunnel, it's not just the HodlFire, that flame burning. I see Michelle's having a quick sip of a drink every now and then. I love it. I love it. So Vicky's gonna have, and I see there's a question from Carlos down in Q&A. I don't know, Vix, if you want to comment on anything Wendy had to say, or it was the question.
Yeah, no, I just want to add two things, actually. So for our scalpers out there, don't confuse the two.
No.
Don't confuse the two methods. So if you're going to scalp, use the HODLnator and scalp the way we teach scalping at HODLNOTS. But if you're going to snuggle, let's say, with the HodlFire, use the HodlFire. You really can't mix the two together as much, because I think that's where a few people are coming unglued and trying to mix them. And the other thing I wanted to say is, in my experience, I've been testing this for quite a few weeks now. If you miss the first green neon candle, I would wait until the top comes in and then the bottom comes in and then do it all over again, because hindsight's 2020. If you're just using the HodlFire, you don't really know where the top's coming in. So I would wait if you miss the first green candle and then just catch the next run. You might miss a few,
Right.
but it's better than getting in too high, because everyone hates that. Oh, I've gotten in too high, and then it goes down right away. So that's just in my experience. Just wait. You'll have plenty more opportunities to go, bottom top. So that was what I wanted to add.
Okay, that's another good thing. Okay, I'm going to look at another one that I saw, and I called in the done earlier. I wanted to see how it was doing. So I'm looking at Strax. This one, Strax was running. So again, what Vicky is saying is that if you get in, if you see the coin going right about here, don't get in at this point. You've already missed the opportunity. Here was the opportunity. Here was the buy-in. And here's the exit. So if you see these neon candles glowing, you never know how much it's going to give. And we teach that in the course. You don't know if you're just going to get 2 candles without knowing how to read all these other indicators and understand the time frames and retracements really well. This would have been your opportunity to get in. And then this actually went all the way up here, 9%. But on this point, you can see the difference in percentage gainers. And we show you, the liquidity is important, as well as, is this a good percentage gainer on a coin? And some are better than others. So when we also teach that as well. But for those people who don't have the HODLnator, you can buy it now if you want to do that. It's less than the course, but you get it free if you take the course, which is great. So you get it free. But for everybody out there today, if you have not experienced, and this is what the HodlFire looks like, this is what you're going to get. The same buy sell tags that you get on the HODLnator are included with these pivot points. And now these pivot points, just so everybody knows, do not go along with a bunch of technical analysis. You're not going to find these pivot points registering, because the intellectual property that we use for those pivot points have an indicator in them that doesn't go with cryptocurrency. So the beauty of it is, for everybody watching, is that you can use it on any commodity, on any chart, on anything on TradingView. So if you're doing some other kind of Forex trading, the only thing is that our bot tip signals for the pivots will not come in on anything but cryptocurrency, because we have them hooked up, because we are crypto traders. But for those people who want to experiment and try it on your Forex trading, different commodities, your different charts, it has a component in it with other trading that it will work. So I was going to say, and it's the cheapest thing that we have in any of our products. Well, and I want to say something about that, because everybody's concerned about cost and how much is this going to cost me. This thing is going to be astronomical because it's really that good. But guys, you need to understand that we've got this extremely low price so that you can use it, and that you can make profit. You can get in abundance with it. One trade will pay for it. I mean, that's how cheap it is. But the thing is, just because we have it low priced doesn't mean that it's not a good product. It's a very complex indicator, and there's been a lot of coding that went into the back end of it to make it what it is. So just because a lot of people just think that just, something's almost free, it can't be any good. Okay, we'll give it a whirl. This is why we're giving away free coupons. Give it a try. We don't want you to buy anything if you're not pleased with it or if you're not making gains, but it shouldn't take you long to make more than the price of what we have to offer on it.
Exactly. And there is so much on offer. And obviously, if you are part of the HODLNOTS, then you have a subscription, you get a price on that. And then obviously all the action that happens. And if you're a certified HODLNOT, you're coming back, you got all the options in the lodge as well, all for the extra trainings. There's another ask session tomorrow night. Well, it's South African tomorrow night, 8 p.m. UTC. But there's so much happening, and we're calling coins on MEXC, KuCoin, Binance. And even if you're not entirely sure how to scalp, but you've got access to the HodlFire at a reduced cost, then you can look at what Wendy's been talking about, looking at those higher timeframes, looking at snuggles, following a coin on the 15 minutes or even an hour, and looking for that pivot load to come in, waiting for their first neon after the buy tag, waiting for their first neon candle, and then writing it up and setting alerts around that as well. And again, Wendy did touch on that. And also in the previous episode, Wendy did touch on how to set alerts and how to look at the HodlFire. Carlos has got a question there, Wendy, just regarding.
Yeah, I'm just reading it. So I'm trying to figure out, it really depends a lot on the time frame that you're using. This indicator is actually designed to work the best on 15-minute and 1 hour. It will work on 4 hour. It will work on the day chart. It will work on the minute chart, but it doesn't work as good as the 15-minute or the 1 hour. The 15-minute chart. Okay, what was the question? I lost the question. Okay, my pivot does not come in immediately. Okay, let me explain that. The way that the coding of the indicators and what I have this thing snatched up to without giving the intellectual property away on how I do it. It was originally set that the bot tips or they came in early. And before you would see it on TradingView, you would get the alert before the actual pivot came in. We've had to adjust it so now that you can see the pivot point coming in. So if you're not seeing it, if something's not set up properly on it, Carlos, get with me, get in the lodge, ask me about it. We'll go over it and we'll check it. But there is sometimes that because we added the Mexi platform, I just need to say that, okay? We added a third exchange to the bot signals, and the Mexi platform kind of disrupts some of the others. So we're experimenting with the Mexi platform right now. So it may be a coin that's on Mexi. I'm not really sure, but if we have hiccups in it, we can certainly look at it, get the coder to look at it with me again. And we have reset the candles one time a little bit closer so that we thought it would be good that everybody got the signal ahead of time, but since they didn't see the pivot tag because it was later showing up on TradingView, we had the heads up, but it was complicated for some people. So we said, okay, let's dial it back in. So we dialed it back in again, one more candle over. So it should be running properly now. If not, reset, Carlos, and then get back with me, and we'll make sure. But use it on 15-minute and 1 hour, and it should be dialed in pretty good. It's not going to be 100% on anything. Sometimes they come in, they flash, and they disappear. You need to know that they will come and go until the time is set, and they always come in blue as temporary. So what that means is it's meeting most of the criteria, but it's not 100%. It could reverse and go back up. This is why you want the buy or sell tag to follow it, because that kind of cements it in that the sell tag is there. It is definitely probably the top, and it's coming down. And knowing how to work all these other indicators and know how to read them will help you make a better, more informed decision. So the more you can upskill yourself, if you're going to do this seriously, you can make a really good living at it. We have a lot of people, a lot of HODLNOTS that do, and it's a nice life change. It's a different kind of world, but you can definitely make supplemental income really nicely with this HodlFire now.
Absolutely.
Easier.
Sure. I see there's a whole bunch of comments and questions there. So
okay.
Nice question. Thank you. Preference to snuggle with a HodlFire when the price is in the golden cross in both the 15-minute or the 1 hour? Wendy or Vicky, you're more than welcome to answer.
That's a good question. And sure, it's always better to wait for that on any kind of training, any kind of trading. But when I've been testing the HodlFire, I think people that were on Wendy's call yesterday heard me say this as well, but I literally just followed it. I didn't use any of the knowledge I have. I just wanted to see how good it was or how not good it was. And so for the past 3-4 weeks, I would just buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. I really wasn't looking at anything else. And it does work in death crosses. It works in golden crosses. It works when it's ranging. So of course it's better. You'll get a more sustained run if it's a golden cross on the 15 and 1 hour, but you can use it as well when coins are going sideways, which is fantastic because a lot of the big cap coins have been going sideways. So you can use it in any.
Just to get small percentages on those big cap
just
coins.
To get strong.
But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 0.5%, 1% while it's sitting there doing nothing, but you can learn to farm the coins up and down, up and down. One of the things I would add to that is I have found that it is much more successful when it's in the death cross area just before it goes golden. So if you know where that sweet spot is, we teach it on our course. But if you know where that is getting ready to what we call HODL cross, that is the key of, if you can grab that bottom pivot, you will work that coin. That mountain's coming. We just don't know when or how long, but that would be my ideal spot, is to grab that bottom pivot and work it from that point up. But definitely the upper golden cross area is always the more preferred, safer.
Absolutely. And that's where, like,
Sorry, can I just, sorry.
No,
go ahead.
Add?
Sorry, I'll do it afterwards. No, go ahead.
Talking about understanding of time is, key. We look for certain things on higher time frames, but it is a slightly different way to trade. You're looking at these pivot lows, pivot highs based on intellectual property and other algorithms that we're not going to divulge around here, but it is slightly different. But you still want to be trading. You want to be preferably 15-minute, 1 hour in that golden zone for sure. Sorry, Vix.
No, go ahead. I was actually, one of our members was wondering why he doesn't have the HodlFire yet, and it's because he hasn't used the coupon yet. So so Wendy, I just wanted to clarify that. So we need to, I'll get with you, we'll get you on the HodlFire.
Yeah,
gotta use the coupon. I gotta use it. And then what that does is that populates you into our system. And then we get your TradingView name, and we have to manually give it because it's an invite only script. But we'll definitely give it to you really quickly if you do that. There's another question here from Joe. You want me to answer that one?
Yeah, you can go for it. I was just going to say it was a nice little segue around what Vicky's going to be chatting about shortly, talking about submitting your name. But yes, let's answer Joe's question, and then Vicky can take it away with all of those who are now even more.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Okay, so Joe is asking, he understands the entry procedure, buying on the bottom pivot. Could you quickly run through how you exit coins with the HodlFire? You're waiting for the top pivot. Basically, I'll go through that one more time really quick on how to set the alerts. And there is an instruction video that you will get that's in our back office if you want to look at it a little bit closer. But basically, you're going to buy on the bottom pivot, and you're going to right click, you're going to add an alert, you're going to get the neon bar, and you're going to say create. Now you're going to wait for the neon bar. Oops, the neon bar comes in pretty quick on this one. Okay, you're buy here, and now you're going to exit when that pivot comes in at some point on this particular 15-minute run. You may catch 5%, you may catch up here on the wick somewhere and get about 8%, somewhere in between. But when that comes in, and you have the sell tag, you could even hold it as long as waiting for the sell tag if you want, but that's your confirmation when the sell tag comes in to get out of the coin. So now what you're asking about the buy and sell tags, how strict are you with them? These are ways that we use on the buy sell tags to scalp trade. Okay, you can use these, but the HodlFire strategy that we want you to do is to capture a bigger percentage gain. And we want you to exit here. Okay, you're going to have to sit through these dips, but if you have more time during the day that you can sit there and you can trade, you can certainly sell, buy, and then exit out here at the buy sell tags. They work great too, but we teach more or less these buy sell tags on the smaller time frames. This is more into scalp trading, but with the HodlFire, you need these for confirmation to come in right after the pivot. And so all of these, you're kind of close your eyes to.
Yeah, I think that's what I was kind of, I touched on that earlier, because if you're very confident with scalping and very confident with a HodlFire, you can mix the strategies. But if you're not, you can get it very wrong trying to play those buy sell tags in the middle. So it's just a matter of, at first at least, or if you're not quite confident, just stick with one strategy. If you're scalping, scalp the way we teach in HODLNOTS, but if you're HodlFiring, HodlFire.
Yeah. And okay, so the next, sorry, go ahead.
No, God, you're going to answer the question about the neon candles going down.
I was. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Somebody wanted me to elaborate on the neon candles. These fire up when it's a strong buy or a strong sell, get out of the coin. So as you can see on this particular one, we had the bottom pivot came in, the neon candle was here, and then we didn't have a top. Okay, so sometimes you won't get the top, but if you hold it till the next top comes in, it usually works good. It's not going to work 100% of the time, but there was probably a temporary sell here that could have disappeared. Okay, so again, you want to watch the sell tags as well at the same time. But when it comes in and you get the yellow neon down, that was what the question was. This is when you're in a very strong diving, you're going south. You know, this just shows it's really strong. And we go over this in the course as well, what the Heikin-Ashi candles mean, how to read the tops and the bottoms, the wicks and the flat bottoms and what they mean, and how all that works with the candles. But the yellow ones, when they fire up yellow, it's a strong downtrend at the moment on whatever time frame that you're on. So again, we bounce these time frames. We see how things are going when we're scalp trading. But when what we want you to do is learn how to use this HodlFire strategy on 15-minute or 1 hour. And so 1 hour is going to look a little bit different. It's going to take a little bit longer. It may be a day to a day and a half trade from here to here. So if you bought in here, you bought this yesterday, you're still in the coin. You're not going to get the bottom of the bottom. You're going to buy right here on this one. And then it went all the way up to 9%, but right now you're still at 6%. But you see, there's lots of buy and sell opportunities in here, but you're missing all of this. You're waiting for that top pivot to come in. So this coin still could keep going up for days. You don't know, but it's longer on 1 hour, obviously, than it is for 15-minute. You would have already taken the trade right here on 15-minute and taken that profit. Okay, so that was a good question.
And that's the other thing too. That was actually a really good point to make, that stay on the same time frame that you start on. Because even though in scalping, we are bouncing time frames left, right, and center, on the HodlFire, it's just best if you're starting on the 15 minutes, stick with the 15 minutes. Or if you're starting on the 1 hour, stick to the 1 hour. This is a totally different kind of trading than any of our HODLNOTS do. So it's you know, you have to get that HODLNOT mentality of why are you holding on to the retracement? Because you do.
Stomach
it. Exactly, you do hold on. And I was going to say, the other thing I was going to say is, you know, the HodlFire is not just for scalpers, not just for day traders, not just for long term, it is also for people who are more confident and short the 4-letter word, or it's 5-letter word. Because those neon yellow candles could actually help people that short as well.
Yes.
Not that we do it in HODLNOTS at all. Pretty much none of Bitcoin trading forecast shorts. But if you do, the HodlFire can help you do that as well, because it's not just for everyone.
There are extreme opportunities. You know, when Bitcoin is really diving and taking a big dive, along with most of the coins, and people, the sentiment is out there. Everybody's going, what the heck just happened? There's some bad news in the market, like when FTX collapsed or when we had Luna collapse. I mean, you know, the market, all coins just go haywire. And when the shorts start running on KuCoin, we do go opposite, because you bank on them and you can bank on those yellow candles as well. So for those people who are shorting the market, they'll fire up yellow on Forex as well. So I'm just saying, for the risky trader in you, you know who you are. We try and teach, and we keep
not financial advice. Not
financial advice. No, we like to keep it safer, and we like to minimize the risk. There's risk in anything that you do, especially with trading, but we minimize that risk as much as possible, and we only do the 3x short market if there is nothing else we can find. But I can guarantee you there's always a coin running. Every day there's a coin running.
When Bitcoin's diving, we see them on KuCoin.
Always.
Their coins are still doing 10, 20, 30% in an hour, irrespective of what Bitcoin is doing. But again, showing the power really of the HodlFire. You can now, look at those neon green candles going down if you are into shorting longer or higher time frames. And again, like as mentioned, we do scalp the 3S or the 2S coin, down coins. And there's a confirmation, but this HodlFire indicator really is powerful, being able to give you those pivot highs and lows. So if you are going to short, there is an option there for you, but again, not financial advice. We prefer to look at the upside, and there is a lot of upside. One other question that's came through, funny enough, over in the HodlNots Lodge, quickly just to answer. Hey, Ruth, thanks for the question. First day using the HodlFire, very excited about it. It does have a question. So for those of you who are using TradingView, but the free version, you are limited to only 3 indicators. Yes, indeed, you get volume for free. And if you have done the HodlNots course, we teach you how to use various indicators, how to add them, and of course, adding the HODLnator. Now, some of you might have done the UTC course, not HodlNots course, or both, and you're limited. Do not fret. 2 months away, we have Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming up. So there is
wait
on that. I did touch on that in the previous episode. I think it was episode 8 when it last did TradingView tips and tricks. But if the way that Wendy has coded the HodlFire is that the buy sell tags do come in as well. But if you're limited to 3 indicators, there's 2 workarounds. Either you only use the HodlFire and you're looking at 15 minutes, 1 hour, and you're following that. Not going to have all the built-in indicators of the HODLnator like the 200, so you're going to know you're in the golden zone or you're not. So you can literally just use the HodlFire and have your other 2 indicators. So if you are then, but maybe you wouldn't be then looking at the MACD or the RSI, having that. So what you can actually do for those of you who are limited to the free version of TradingView is that you can have the HODLnator, you can have the HodlFire, and one other indicator. I'm a big fan of MACD. I use it on various time frames. Other people might be like
MACD,
stochastic, or whatever else it may be. Can X out one of those. But if you're using the HodlFire, you're looking at pivot lows, pivot highs. You're not looking at what the RSI is doing, the MACD is doing, and things like that. So
it's a different strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. But then, of course, in terms of alerts, if you're using the free version of TradingView, again, you only have 1 alert as an option. So Ruth and anybody else, perhaps it's almost time to start looking at a paid version of TradingView. So you can harness up to 20 alerts or 100 alerts, depending if you're using Pro Plus. That's something we can touch on in the next episode of the HodlNots Happy Hour Hangout. I did touch on it before.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, it is. We did touch on it. There are benefits. There's a 30-day free trial that you can try with any of the TradingView packages. Just make sure that you cancel before the 30 days runs up, so you can get to look and play with the different things. But again, bear in mind that Black Friday and Cyber Monday comes up when most of us renew or even buy our TradingView subs. Also, bear in mind, in terms of those alerts, you can only set 1 at a time. So if you're looking at you can't have side alerts and HODLnator alerts, etc., because you only get 1 alert on that, whether it be a technical or a alert. So just bear that in mind. So
I will say as well, what we've been teaching in HODLNOT, because we love scalp trading and we're still trading the market, there's always coins running every day. What we're suggesting you do is try 1 coin a day. Pick the one, use the skill sets that we teach you on how to pick the best coin for the day running, and try the HodlFire strategy on that 1 coin. We do 1 coin at a time. If you're a good trader, you got alerts going off right and left, and it gets wild and crazy. I would say de-stress your life, choose 1 coin, and let it ride out and make a profit every day. You should be able to make 1 or 2 trades a day, sometimes 2, but at least 1. If you pick that coin and you work it properly, it should bring you some percentage gains every single day without overstressing yourself. You got life going on, and you don't want alerts going off in your ear. When your alert goes off, you'll hear the ding, you'll see the message, and trade the coin. And it's just another way to make supplemental income. 1 coin a day. Everybody should be able to do that. And I would highly suggest you try small money while you're practicing, just so you can see, hey, I got this % gain on this coin. And when you get the confidence level built up by doing 2 or 3 successful ones, you'll see what it does.
Absolutely. And just on that note, I mean, there is, and Vicky's going to touch on this shortly, in terms of getting the HodlFire, there is a coupon available. There's a question around as a standalone product, which is also a great option. But you might want to be in the den because, like Wendy is saying, choosing one coin, looking at it on the higher time frames, go through the exchange of your choice and see which of those coins are generally a higher percentage. So, like for instance, Multi, we've had GNS, we've had a couple of others have been doing really nicely. And even if it starts to retrace and comes back down over a couple of hours, you know it has the potential. But the den is where the coins are being called. The coins are like, oh, this is running 30% in an hour, or this is done, 90% in the day. And then look for those coins that are on the 1 hour, you get the pivot low, even the 15 minutes, you get the pivot low, you wait for the first neon candle to come in, you set your alerts obviously for the buy tag in between. So there are a multitude of ways of doing it, but there is a benefit again of being inside the HODLNOTS den in the lodge. Vicky, you want to tell us more about the coupon and some of the prices around that for the den, the subsidy on that, and a couple of things around that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then I'll answer the rest of the questions when you're done, Vicky. I'm sorry. You go ahead. We see your questions, people.
But yeah, there is a question about the price of the HodlFire, and I want to clear something up. I'm going to share my screen. Now, I want to break you up into 2 different groups of people. So for the non-den members, so those for the people that are not in our den or our lodge, if you go to your Bitcoin Trending Forecast website, you don't actually even have to sign in. So if you go to products here, or even if you are signed in, so if you're not in the den, if you are signed in, if you're not signed in, it goes to the same place. If you scroll down here, you'll come to this specific HodlFire product here. And this is the product that is for the people who are not in the den. So if you either click into it, which I'll do now, there are 4 different prices. So it's $30, $85, $150, or $290, depending on how long you want the HodlFire for. But this is the price for our non-den members. So the people that are not in our den. But if you log in, and I'm going to log in to my own account, what will happen is, because I am in the den, if you go to the online store here on the left-hand side and go to products and services, you will see a different HodlFire. So we have had a bit of confusion with this. So if you go down, you will see a different HodlFire here. So you have to find one that looks like this. Okay, so right here it says add-on product. And what this says is an add-on product for the den. So people in the den can get this product. And
they're 50%
it's
off.
cheaper, exactly. And you can only buy it monthly. So be very careful which one you purchase. So we want you, the people that are in our den and our lodge, we want you to purchase the cheaper one. So it's $15. So you have to actually look for that. It's actually a great little tag because there are a lot of add-on products depending on where you are. But in our den and our lodge, you can get the add-on product for the HodlFire. You can get the add-on product for the BB Rider, which is actually a little cheaper, much cheaper as well than if you're not in the den. So just be careful which one you buy. So yes, you can buy them as a standalone product. Now, the coupons work completely differently. So if you would like a coupon, if you're in the den and the lodge, it's in the lodge. So go to the lodge and you'll find the coupon. If you're not in our den, please create a support ticket down here. So in your account, you go down here where it says Help Center, just here on the bottom left-hand corner, and you click it and you say support ticket. So if you click that, another little screen will open up and then you can create a support ticket and say, hi, I'd like to trial the HodlFire for 7 days. We give you 7 days free to trial it. And then what will happen is I will answer your support ticket, but the absolutely important thing is you can't use the coupon on the normal store. So there'll be a link that you have to click first. So you'll sign into your account, you'll click the link, and then you'll be able to use the coupon. So the coupons don't work with a normal store, and that goes for the large members as well. So there'll be a link, a coupon code, a link, a coupon code, but then when you renew it, because of course you're going to want to renew it after you have it, then you can go to the store and renew it there. But I just wanted to say, so there is 2 different prices, and definitely there's a link for the coupon. So yeah, it's all you have to do is, if you'd like the coupon, create a support ticket and say, I'd like to trial the HodlFire, and we'll send it out for you.
Yeah, and let me just say, the reason why we give 50% off to our community who's in the den, they're already buying the den. So we're trying to save them some money. You know, we want them to be able to trade, use their money in the market. So we get, since they're already buying one of our products in our den and our lodge, then we want to give it to them at half cost. So that's the reason for that add-on being cheaper.
Exactly.
We've lost you.
I'm back again. Sorry, there we go.
You're lip syncing.
Yeah, don't worry. It's been a struggle this side today. Tell me, we've got obviously a couple of questions over there in the Q&A slide. And just as a reminder, Vicky was mentioning that support ticket. Obviously, you can log into bitcointough.com back office. There is a link down in the chat. Thanks, Michelle, as per usual. Mm-hmm. Then Wendy, yeah, we've got 2 questions there, and then I'll let Yaku. Nice to see you, TJ Sniper. I've got a question, needs a hand is up. Yeah. So questions, wins.
Sure. How much does the blue tag pop up? It depends on the time frame you're on. It depends on the market volatility. It depends on who's buying and how much volume is in the coin. If we got buyers on the coin or sellers on the coin, it depends on a lot of different things. So if you're worried about, is it going to be distracting to you? If you go on 1 hour, it won't be distracting. You're not going to get it bing, 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 bing. And if you do it on one coin, you're not going to get a bing, bing, bing. And the further out you go on the time, if you want to do 4 hour, you're not going to get very pinged very often. Okay. So when you learn how to trade 15 minutes, it'll be hopefully a little bit better. You might be able to cash out in a coin in about 3 hours, is usually about the run. It can go a day, but basically we want to stay within the smaller time frame. If you have more time for the screen, do 15 minutes. If you're a busybody and you're working a job, or you're on the go and you really don't have time to scalp trade, try the 1 hour. So that's my suggestion to you. Would the HodlFire indicator serve as a complement to the detonator? Absolutely, it does. The detonator, when those green dots come in, and especially if you get a golden dot, boom, you're in. A lot of people use the detonator. And matter of fact, Nico uses the HodlFire now. And so he's finding it insanely great, especially using it with the detonator. So if you have taken that, if you're an advanced trader and you've taken that course and you have the detonator, it's a compliment, absolutely. And we also use the MACD, just what John was saying earlier. The indicators that we teach you how to use in trading, the MACD is vitally important. Some people trade on the RSI. A lot of Forex traders solely trade on the RSI. For me, you'll adapt your own personal trading style. I don't use the RSI. Okay, I use volume. So volume is a heavy indicator for me, because if you don't have buyers, you don't have action. So we use volume a lot, as well as the MACD as one of my preferred indicators. And I think that's all the questions on my side. Over to you.
Yeah, that's it. And it's that hour just flew by. There was just so much.
There you go.
Questions. We love our community, not just over in the lodge, but over in bitcointough.com as well. We know that the DTM call is on now as well, so we're gonna see that as our.
We gotta go.
Yeah,
people gotta go.
In the next episode, in 2 weeks' time, we're gonna be looking at those TradingView tips and tricks. We've got a few others to add on as we're building in on all this information that we're sharing with you. But again, if you ladies and gents have any questions around the HodlFire or anything else as well that you see in the store, especially the BB Rider or the course, you can now get the HODLNOTS as a standalone product as well. Even if you haven't done the course, there is so much on offer, and our community is always helping. So if you are in the lodge, do tag us, tag Vicky, tag myself, tag Wendy, tag any of the trainers. any other questions, we do thank you. A lot of you, great. Yeah, it's great to see all of you on this call. Thanks for your comments down below. And then, if you haven't tried out the HodlFire yet, go to your back office and
give it a go.
Get this 7 days, but make sure that when you do ask for that you are going to be trading in that time, because it's only valid for 7 days. So we don't want you guys and girls to waste it. But again, really great and affordable. It's not because it's a cheap indicator at all, but we're trying
it's powerful
to everybody to be able to try and change things. But again, try with a smaller position. Try that 15-minute, try that 1 hour, and then see how it goes. It's about finding, obviously you want a coin that does, 10% over 10 hours perhaps, or, not percent or 0.5, but give it a go. You're not going to learn anything until you try things out. And with this powerful pivot lows, the buy tag come in, set those alerts, and then buy in on that neon green candle. At least you're shorting the market, then you want the yellow.
You can change the neon colors too if you want. We'll go into that when you get it, but it's all good.
Absolutely. That's it. Those are all the great questions and great time as usual. Michelle, thanks for all your
Good to see everybody. Yeah. Thank you, Michelle.
Anytime. It's always fun being on these calls.
Amazing.
I love it.
Thank you for all of your input and your support. Ladies and gents, it's been another wrap of the HODLNOTS Happy Hour Hangout. Just as a reminder for those of you who are in the Den Lodge, we do have an Ask session, additional scalp knowledge session. It's going to be a yay or nay around timeframes. And
wow, I love those.
Little twists into it as well. We're looking forward to that. I can't do the math that quickly, but tomorrow at 8 p.m. UTC. For everybody else who's trying to figure out what's all this chaos and fun happening over the Den and the Lodge, you know what to do. Hit up the HODLNOTS course, or at least subscribe to the Den, where all the coins that are running are being called all the time. Such a great community. Wendy, thank you for everything as well, everything you've done behind the scenes and on these calls. And everybody. Good
to see everybody. And thank you, Vicky, and thank you, John, for having these nice little happy hour calls. I think they're quite informative to people. And I'm enjoying seeing everybody because I see some of my old HODLNOTS coming back. So that makes me happy. I see some of the names that I haven't seen in a long time. So good to see you guys. Get the HodlFire. Let's go. Fire it up.
Awesome stuff. See you guys at the next one. Until then.
Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.